What is up, y'all? It's Marshall Lee of Donkey Jaw Projects. And today, well, it's not the first day, but it's the second day of 365 days of making comics.
Donkey Jaw Projects!
Very similar to the 100 days of making comics, where I spend at least 30 minutes a day, every day, for 365 days working on my personal project, aka my comic books and such. Except the way I'm doing it is I'm taking Sundays off, but I'm still doing the same amount of work that it would take to do at least a half an hour that day. So how am I doing so far? And this is not to step on Kevin Cross's 100 Days of Making Comics in any way, shape, or form. This is just, I'm going to be doing comics all year, so I'd rather just make it. I still want to be held accountable, but I'm making it 365 days, just doing that because it makes sense to me, you know, with what my plans and goals are and stuff like that. So I love the community of 100 days. I'm still building with all of y'all. So anyways, so yeah, how's it been going? Yesterday was January 1st. Today's January 2nd. And in 2 days, I've already done technically a week's worth of making comics, almost. You know, it's not much. That's not saying much. It's about 3 hours. And that's 30 minutes a day. That's 6 days down. So I think I'll be able to cover Sunday this week easily, since it's only Tuesday. But, you know, I'm trying to do way more than a half an hour every day if possible. So, you know, the more time, the better, because I got a lot of stories to get out of this brain and heart and mind and head and all those things, whatever they are. So yeah, getting some work done, finishing up Lizard Brain. So today I finished up the last panels and everything, the inking for page 5 of Lizard Brain. Now all I have is one more page left, which is I don't know how long that's gonna take. It's interesting because it's a splash page. I'll give you that much. I don't want to like mess it up, but I haven't done a lot of splash pages, although I did with the Hitchhiker. But this one's probably gonna have a lot more detail than the Hitchhiker did. So we'll see. But you know, I think it's gonna take some time to do this page. It's not super simple, but I don't know. We'll see. But I haven't figured out even the design yet for it. I actually did some thumbnailing for it. Also, one thing that's really cool is I realized that I decided to start doing covers for all these stories. You know, I'm going to be doing like a lot of different stories, and you know, they're all small, you know, short stories for the 12 stories book. But also I think I'm going to be doing small stories that may or may not fit in that book, but I'll still be publishing them different ways, you know, maybe in different anthologies, or, you know, I have another idea. So we'll see. I'm also going to be working on pitches for Image and Alterna Comics and maybe other publishers, you know, we'll see. But I'd like to get published with some stories. And, you know, I'll do self-publishing as well, independent stuff, Kickstarters, things like that. We'll see where it all takes me. All I know is I'm going to be working on comics every day this year. And even on Sundays, I may work on comics. You know, it's just that Sundays are my day where I can be like, all right, I can work on comics or I can do whatever I want. So it gives me that chance to kind of let my distracted mind have a time and a place to play, you know, because I need to do that. It's like a little release valve, you know, or something like that, you know. You need to be able to goof off once in a while, and so Sunday might be my day to do that. I might just decide to work on comics, you know. Either way, it's all fun. It's hard work, sometimes not so fun, but you know. So anyways, today I did about an hour of comic making, and also another thing that I'm doing is I'm doing at least 5 minutes of warm-ups every day, like just sketching, whatever, which I didn't do it before the comic today because for some reason I just felt like getting into the comic, you know. So it is what it is. Some days might be like that, but I'm still gonna do my sketching every day. I want to get better at just all kinds of aspects of art, so I want to be sketching and doing studies and things like that. Also, it's good to have, you know, things that I can post. You know, maybe some of these will turn into full-blown illustrations, who knows. But what I'm going to do this month, and I might have a theme every month, I don't know. This month's theme, though, is, I've been wanting to do this for a while, is environments, or people in environments, because I want to be better at doing like all the little details in the backgrounds of panels and things like that, and putting you know, people in perspective in rooms or in, you know, different environments where there's buildings or even out, you know, nature, things like that. I want to get better at all that stuff. It's definitely a big weakness for me, and kind of figure out my visual language with drawing, all that kind of stuff. So working on that. So I did that yesterday. Today I'm going to do that as well. I spent about a half an hour on it yesterday. Did a really scribbly sketch with ballpoint, and you know, it is what it is. It's me exercising that muscle. Even though it's not a pretty illustration, you know, I'm exercising and building up the tolerance and the patience to do that sort of thing. So day 1, day 2's been going good. And you know, it's funny, like I really love the idea of getting up, doing it, getting it done in the morning, feeling like, you know, I feel like I'm accomplished. I feel like, okay, if I do any more art today, it's just bonus. And even last night, like I really wanted to do some more art, even though I spent like 2.5 hours on art yesterday in the morning. I really, you know, when it came nighttime, and I just didn't have the chance to really do it, but I really had the desire to just do more art. Like I still could have gotten more art, so that's like little more stuff done, so that's like little bonus stuff. So I don't know, stuff that I'm excited about. We'll see how this all works out, but you know, so far so good. The first 2 days, I gotta do my sketch today, which will get done. I'll probably do some of that now during lunch, if I have some more time after doing this. Also, I think I just started to talk about this, but I'm gonna start doing covers. So Lizard Brain is gonna have, I was really inspired. All right, there's a few things here. As I've been trying to like color pieces, color art and stuff, I've run into some situations. One situation had me realizing that I really kind of needed Photoshop, so I tried to switch over to Photoshop because I had the Illustrator cloud version or whatever. So I tried to switch over to Photoshop, and what I found out is in the back end, you know, normally it's like $50 to get the whole, you know, Adobe suite. But on the back end, I guess probably if you've been subscribed to the cloud for a while, which I have for, I don't know, a year or two or something, a couple of years, I don't know. But just with one program, on the back end it's cheaper. So it's only like $30 to get the whole suite a month. So I did that. I'm like, yeah, that's worth it. So $30 a month, get the whole suite. So now I have all the programs, Illustrator, the Photoshop, Dreamweaver. So I may even be doing better videos, hopefully. But I'm also, it's just convenient to do it on the phone, so we'll see what happens. But that being said, so trying to color things, I realize sometimes I need certain other programs. I use Manga Studio or Clip Studio as well. But it just wasn't getting a certain effect I was looking for. I was looking for that like old school comic effect, and I just didn't find good tutorials that use Clip Studio. If you guys know of any, hit me up. I want to do that. Anyways, so I've been trying to do some digital stuff, coloring and stuff lately, even though I kind of have a crappy tablet. It's a small Wacom tablet that the cord is all messed up and doesn't always want to be, you know, work and stuff like that. And so it is what it is. So I'm like, man, I just, and not only that, it's not a screen tablet. So And as I'm working, I'm realizing, man, if I had a screen tablet, so much of this stuff would be so much easier. You know, you look into these tutorials and they're like, you know, they're doing certain things and you're like, oh, I know they have a screen tablet because it wouldn't take them that quick if they were just using the regular tablet, or maybe they're good at the regular tablet. I don't know. That being said, I just feel like I'd do so much better with screen tablets. So I asked all of our mutual friends, Eric Ferries. I think a lot of us are connected with him. He's always doing like tablet reviews and stuff like that. So I asked him, you know, what's a good budget, you know, screen tablet and blah blah blah, and we had a whole discussion, and he was super helpful. So shout out to you, man. Thanks for that. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to find out more about tablets or just get hooked up with a cool artist. Check him out. He showed me some options and I looked into them and I found the one that I really like. It's about $400, maybe a little bit more when I'll probably get like the, you know, protection plan or whatever it is and stuff like that. But it's a pretty cool one. I think it was a Guamon, or I don't know, these names are so crazy. But anyways, I figured out what I want. That being said, whatever I get, I have to save up for. I don't have the money for it. So I was thinking, okay, well, you know, how can I do art or something that will save up for it, or, you know, I don't know. And I was really inspired by Michael Emmerich, who just put out a Space Cat poster thing, the 11x17, and he even showed me like a cheap frame that you can get at Walmart that is perfect size for it. And I went and got it, and I put, you know, Space Cat right up on my wall. I'm so excited. It's so awesome. I love how it looks up there. So, and definitely go check out, you know, his stuff and get that print if you haven't. So I'll put a link in the description for Mike Emmerich. So I gotta write these down so I make sure I do it. So I really liked how that looked in the frame, so I'm like, oh man, now I gotta start framing some of my comic pages and stuff, which I did one so far, but I don't really have any 11x17 comic pages that I love so much that I want to put on a wall. I mean, I like them and they're good, you know, when they're edited and put together in the comic, they look cool, but nothing like super amazing. Like, it's actually inspiring me to make better comic pages because I want cool stuff up on my wall and stuff. And there's other things too, but yeah, I don't know. So I really like that size, that format. So I was like, well, maybe I could do something like that, like a print, to maybe help me to save up for a screen tablet so I can color comics better. And I mean, that's the biggest thing I want to do is color comics, but if I have a screen tablet, then I can maybe start looking into drawing comics that way. Maybe it'll make the whole process quicker, and I mean, you know, that's how it all goes. So I think I'm gonna do a cover for, I wasn't originally gonna do this, but for the 12 stories book, I think I'm gonna do a cover for each story, and maybe whatever other stories I do. I'm even thinking of doing like a cover for, like a print cover for The Hitchhiker, which is the story I did for the 100s anthology, which we will be announcing soon as well, the 100 Days of Making Comics anthology, Life in Space. So that is exciting. So I'm thinking about doing that. Let me know, guys, if you think that'd be cool, you know. And I'm gonna, you know, sell them as just one-off prints, and it's also, you know, a lot of this stuff I'm gonna be putting out for free. You know, I'm gonna be putting out as like web comics, all these stories. I might hold some stuff back just specifically for, you know, printed books or whatever, but a good majority of the stuff is probably gonna go out, you know, for free as I make it. You know, this Lizard Brain you guys will be able to read very soon once I finish the lettering and all that and get it all nice and formatted and figure out how I'm gonna publish it, you know, and all that stuff. So that should be coming pretty soon. But, you know, I figured if I make some really cool art, like some really cool comic cover type things or posters or whatever, you know, maybe people will buy those, and it's a good way to kind of keep, you know, building this whole thing, and the money part, you know, maybe save up for some equipment that I need and things like that. So I don't know, I think it's a pretty good plan. You know, I don't know if anybody will actually buy it. You know, I've had, you know, varied luck throughout the years, but I think if I put out something really cool that people enjoy, they'll want to get it, and that'll be cool. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that's my plan. We'll see how it all works out. Yeah, I'm just really excited about making a lot of progress with this comic. I'm really hoping I get to continue and stay motivated to just spend as much time as possible on the comic. I found this cool app called Harvest. Check it out, Harvest app or whatever, that helps you kind of track your time. It took me forever to find something that could help me track my time. There's a lot of different options, and I was going to do maybe a spreadsheet, and I was having a hard time figuring that out, and it is what it is. But I think this app is going to work out. Right now I'm on a 30-day trial, but there's a free version as well, and I think I'm using it to the limited capacity to where I'll be able to continue to use it that way. And then you can print out or see all the different reports, throughout like the weeks or the months or the year, and things like that. So I'll be able to easily like track, am I actually doing this and how much time. Like at the end of the year, I want to put how much time, it would be to do 30 minutes every day for 365 days, and then measure that against what I actually did and see if I made the goal, if I went above the goal, how far I went above the goal, things like that. So I don't know, I'm excited about that as well. So a lot of crazy things. Life is crazy. Life is crazy, and I'm trying to push through things that are tough. But as far as the making comics and stuff, that part's working out pretty good so far. So it's only 2 days into the year, but we'll see. But that's what this challenge is for, to push me to make sure I at least do a half an hour every day. So, hopefully that all works out. And I think it will. It's something that I'm just excited about, and I don't see myself not pushing it. Like, I feel like I'm that whole thing of building the rocket ship, that's kind of what this is. It's the rocket ship, update. That idea of just having a huge dream and building towards it, and working at it every day, no matter how stupid and crazy it seems, just working hard and making my goal be the hard work that I put in and not the results. So the results will probably come and whatever, but I don't know exactly where. I trust God that He's going to help me figure out where to kind of drive the ship. But as far as building things, I'm working on building it so that I'm ready when it's time. So all right, this has been long so far. I'm going to try to update every day or so or whatever, and then put it all into like one long update, sort of long update, one substantial update that is updated once a week, most likely. If it's not once a week, it is what it is, but it's all gonna be like in this kind of blog situation. And yeah, what's up, y'all? This is Wednesday, the 3rd day. I'm not gonna keep counting the days because I don't think I'm gonna be able to keep track. But I'll just say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I guess. So I guess you guys don't care about that probably, though. Anyways, so I just finished doing 38 minutes of writing. I can do more hopefully today, but today was one of those days because the way my job is, sometimes I have to go in super early, and so that way I can't do work on my comic in the morning. So right now I'm on my lunch trying to do some work, and what I decided to do, because I don't have my pages with me, because I can't be at my desk, and to be honest, I still could have done like some sketching. I have a lot of right now I have to design the last page, and I have to design the comic cover, but I was looking into trying to figure out like what pages I already have scanned in, because I originally already lettered the first 2 pages and even was starting to color them, but I decided not to color them, of Lizard Brain. And so it's going to be black and white, and what I'm realizing is the original scans, I don't think I had like really good files. I think I had like PNGs, and I want it to be good quality. I want it to be TIFFs, and I didn't have a way to get those files scanned in before as TIFFs. So now I do. Actually, I did before, but I didn't realize I did. But anyways, so I'm going to rescan everything in. I don't know if I can carry over the lettering I already did. If not, it's not that big a deal. I'll just re-letter the first page or two. I think I might only letter the first one anyways. And I'm probably going to do it with Illustrator, which is, because the last time I did it with Manga Studio, and I don't like how Manga Studio works when it comes to, word balloons and stuff. So anyways, tangent. But so today I'm writing, hop into a different project. I want to do some pitches and stuff for like Image and for Alterna Comics. And one pitch that's kind of a no-brainer is for me to continue the Glyph story that I did in the mini comics, because I already have characters sort of figured out, at least to a small degree. I've done a lot of work obviously because there's 3 books, but the whole story and world is gonna change because I just went in it just trying to make comics originally. So I didn't really do much planning or writing really, except for just like a basic plot, and then like, okay, these characters do this because of this, and that's about it. But I've been reading this book, Story Genius, and I want to make, now my whole focus on learning stories because I want to write real stories. I don't want to just come up with a plot and then just draw it. To me, that was a good step at first. It would help me get my foot in the door, get some experience with making comics. But now it's time to really write stories. So, and really get, work on learning how to write stories. So, I'm going to be following this Story Genius method probably for a long time. I don't know, eventually if I get to the point where I feel like I've gotten some really good mastery of this, and it's kind of ingrained and I don't have to like keep looking at my notes and stuff to figure out how to do it, I might move on to other techniques. But right now this technique makes sense to me, and I'm just going to work it until I've gotten to a point where I'm comfortable with it, and maybe move forward from there. We'll see. Maybe this is all I need. I don't know. I'm okay with a prescriptive approach to writing, because I just want to learn, and it's just like comics or anything, copying is the best way sometimes to learn, and then you can kind of figure out the way you do it, from there. So that's what I'm doing. So it's a little scary though. I don't know if you guys, if you've ever like kind of taken, a lot of times like you read a book, maybe a self-help book or just any kind of instructional thing, and you read it, even like a drawing book, like How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, there's a lot of stuff I kind of either read or looked at, but maybe never actually practiced or tried, So actually, it's actually a little bit of a courageous step to like actually try something, It's like, yeah, you can learn these concepts all you want, but like, I think a lot of times I've just let it kind of seep in and become like something that was maybe intuitive, or I was hoping it would become intuitive, and then it would just work when I go to write. And that, instead of doing, that's how I've done things a lot in my life, but I've learned, to not do that. I've learned to take practical steps, do practical exercises and challenges to learn the things you really need to learn. There's a certain level that other approach can take you, but what I'm realizing is like, even in my art, like, I've gone as far as I can kind of go. I mean, I could go further probably, but with just kind of trying to intuit how to draw and stuff. And, just by sketching more in my sketchbook, I'll figure it out intuitively, but I think you can actually figure things out a lot quicker if you actually put things into practice and do exercises to intentionally learn specific things. Like right now, I'm learning environments, and I'm intentionally drawing only environments in my sketchbook for a little while. I'll probably show some footage of that eventually, or I don't know. We'll see how this all works. Right now I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go, how these videos are going to go. But anyways, so, to take something that's a concept and isn't like written out as like, it's not written out as like a sheet of like, okay, first you figure out this, then you figure out that, then you do this. You don't fill in the blank and that's how you write your story. It's like, okay, here are the concepts, and now I'm trying to take those concepts and turn them into like a story building system, you know. I mean, it's already there. I'm just trying to make it a little more systematized so that I can kind of fill in those blanks, because that's what helps for me. And also, this book is meant to, it's geared towards novel writing, which is great, and it's actually kind of cool because it goes into more detail. But the things that it prescribes is, write, a few paragraphs about this, or write blah blah blah. With comics, you arguably don't need to write, these descriptive paragraphs and get as in-depth, because a lot of that kind of stuff happens within the art. So it's good to kind of do some of that to learn, to know what your environment's going to look like and things like that. But a lot of that kind of comes in more with the research, and that is a little bit more of an intuitive process, but it is intentional. I don't know. It's a different thing, to me. So like, I don't have to actually write a lot of things in words because I'm going to figure that out visually. Hopefully that makes sense. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I did some building. Basically, I'm building the character, Glyph as a character. He's never really had an actual core to him. He's just like, I've always thought of him as, he's just like a typical like Spider-Man character, but, who's kind of fights bad guys and is, kind of jokes along the way, but has some insecurities type of thing. But that's really vague, and now my story is going in a whole different direction. He's not like a superhero character who fights bad guys. It's more like a competition thing, almost like a sports movie, but it's not sports, it's art, because he's a graffiti artist and things like that. And you'll hear more as I go. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about this. I did 38 minutes. It feels like it's not a lot because it's literally like, I don't know, a total of 40 words or something. It's like these little like, okay, this is the header, and then I wrote a little sentence about what my answer is to that like question or whatever, and there's like 5 of those, so it feels like, did I really do a lot of writing? But that's kind of the point of this whole Story Genius thing, is you're figuring certain things out that are important to your story, so you don't have to do like a lot of times people write and they say their actual writing process is in the editing stage, and I don't want to do that. I don't want, I should say, the way this book prescribes it is it takes out a lot of that extra work, saying that that's stuff you don't need. You end up writing way more. You might write like a huge, novel, and then knock it down, that's like, I don't know, I forget the word count in novels, but say you're writing a story, and this is a small word count, but that's 3,000 words long, and you knock it, that you cut out and cut out and cut out until you get down to like 500 words, and that's where your core story is, and that's what you need. I'm trying to not write all 3,000 words, I'm trying to write somewhere more to like 1,000 words and then cut it in half at least, that type of thing. So, I don't know, it's taking out some extra thing, it's a more efficient way of writing. At least that's what they that's what the thesis of this book is. So, I don't know, and that's helpful for me too, and comic writers, I would think, as well, because of the nature of comic writing. It's not the same as a novel, and it's more of a, in some ways it's more like you can write it visually and not even write, anything. You could write like a paragraph. This is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Now go, make 27 pages. That's like the quote-unquote old school Marvel method, So, I don't know if it's 27, whatever pages. So anyways, really excited, having fun. I have so many different things I need to do. I've been writing lists in my Trello account, and I'm using Trello to write my stories. I really love that tool, and then I'm using the Harvest app to show my time. So I already went over that. Yeah, I guess that's it for Wednesday, unless I feel like adding more. I don't want this to go too long. Already it looks like it's a 30-minute or so video, so we'll see. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow or the next time. So calm and quiet. Big snowstorm coming. It just started. A lot of people aren't going to work, aren't going to school. I'll be going to school though, or work. So yeah, I gotta start up my car and not die on this ice and snow. I just finished my half an hour. That'll get me in the books for the day. I don't know, 3, 4, I think it's fourth. We have fourth day. Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. What day is it? Thursday. So, day 4, Thursday. Trying to get my car to work. There's so much stuff in my car that doesn't quite work. But hopefully this isn't too loud. Woo! Alright. So I did my half an hour. This was one of those days where I'm just like, I got enough sleep, but I'm tired. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do this morning. So, what I ended up doing was I started, because I'm working on this last page of Lizard Brain, and I started trying to figure out, like, what am I gonna do for this last page. It's kind of I've let it go long enough where it's starting to be kind of intimidating, and I don't know, I was just a little bit worried that it wasn't getting started and blah blah blah. So I literally put a black border around the page. That's how I started it. But I was looking through some comics, just all different old comics, and some old Kirby comics as well, and Eternals and like that era, New Gods, all that stuff. And I noticed that in a lot of his panels, his like big splash pages or regular panels where there's like a big impact, he'll put like this really thick border, like black border around the whole thing. So that's what I did today. For the last page, I put a big black border around the whole page. It's just like one big page. And then I did one thumbnail, I think. And that's another thing, is thumbnails, like this whole idea of like don't settle on the first idea you have for like a layout or a drawing or a design. Do like tons of different iterations, at least like 10, but a lot of people say way more than that, like do like 50 at least or something like that, thumbnails. And I'm like forcing myself to do more and more. Like what I tend to do, if I do multiples, I'll do like 3 to 5, and whichever one I like like I'll end wherever when I finally get to one that I like enough, I'll just stop doing thumbnails instead of going further and doing a bunch more iterations. So I'm trying my best. I have 2 things to cover in the last page where I'm working on thumbnails, and both are very similar in some ways because they're showcasing the main monster and stuff like that. So, but one I want to be kind of a teaser, maybe, but I don't know. I'm noticing in the covers for a lot of horror comics and stuff, they do show the full monster in the cover. So I don't know, maybe I will, because I want to have some cool images of the main monster and stuff involved in the story. So I don't know, a lot of things I'm thinking about. I'm really tired, but I'm glad I got up and got my half an hour in, and I'm gonna get more time in. I have to scan all my pages and stuff today. That's gonna be some time, and then you know, hopefully I'll get more time in. Also, I really am trying to learn better stuff with environments and practice environments. I'm gonna start copying like comic panels and stuff to learn that, and oh, so much stuff going on. But yeah, just figured I'd do a little update for Thursday. Alright, party people. So I am now at work. Check out this new shirt. Eat, sleep, draw, repeat. So I am now at work and came in. It's Saturday. They asked me to come in for 5 hours just to make sure somebody's here, because there might be issues and people might need to come in and get some stuff or whatever. Most likely, hopefully most likely, nobody will come in. They said, go ahead, bring your stuff. You can work on your projects or whatever. You don't have to do anything else. Just want somebody to be here. So I'm here, and I'm getting ready to work on some comics. Let's see how many hours I can clock in. Alright, so that was a day. It is currently 5 hours later-ish since I last did updated, and I worked about close to 4 hours, I think, 3.5 to 4 hours. I did my sketch warm-ups, so that took out some of the time, and then also one of my bosses came in, so they were, you know, we were just chatting and stuff, so, you know, I turned off the timer for that. You know, it wasn't any issue with me working on stuff, because that's what they told me I could do and whatnot, so cool beans. So yeah, I went to, basically what I did was prepare the pages I have for Lizard Brain for the 12 Stories comic. They were already scanned in, so I was taking all the scans, putting them in the right position, cleaning up the lines. A lot of this for me is learning too, so it takes time. The actual cleanup of each page, you know, took, I don't know, maybe a half an hour, but for all of them. But I spent a lot of time on the first page because, first of all, I was kind of learning, and then second of all, I kind of didn't mean to, but I kind of dipped into doing some gray scale stuff, some gray tones, and you know, I don't know. The pages, it's weird because originally this story I was planning on doing like color, I guess, and I even colored the first 2 pages, or at least flatted the first 2 pages, and fully colored one, and then partially colored the second page, I think. And then I decided that I'm probably not going to go with color for this 12 Stories book, to save time. So, you know, what happened was, like, you know, I made that decision kind of partially through the whole thing, but there was parts where I had to make it like raining and it was outside and there was like a moodiness to it, so I ended up using like gray markers and stuff to kind of create some of that moodiness and the rain effects and things like that. So 2 to 3 pages, I think 3 pages have some grayscale stuff, some marker stuff, and then the last page probably didn't need it, but I already had started, and I don't know, so it's weird. It's going to be like this weird mishmash. So there's one way, like, to kind of clean up the lines and get them all nice and crisp if it's just straight up black and white. And then if you have some weird grayscale stuff in there, then you can't do certain things that make it quite as crisp for the, I mean, you can, but then you have to do like all this other crazy stuff and like selecting things, and I don't know. I hate when I like, you know, learning this technology stuff and changing stuff. I just hope that when it comes out, it looks good. You know what, I was using some like trying to see like what do people do when they do like grayscale comics, or when they do you know, quote unquote black and white comics. So I of course thought of The Walking Dead, because it's like one of the most well-known comics, and it's actually black and white. Like, it's crazy that one of the most, you know, profitable comics like on the market is one that's black and white. So I was like, well, let me see, you know, how they do it, you know, because I'm pretty sure I remember they do it pretty limited. And I went and looked, and they, in fact, do it pretty limited. I think that when, in the original series, like when it first started, it was a little more complex or whatever. But now it's more limited. It's more subtle, I should say. But still, you know, there's some gradients and stuff going on, but it's very subtle. And I think that's the effect I want, but because I went in with marker, it's gonna look different. So some pages are going to look more digital. Some pages in this little 7-page story are going to look more, you know, hand done. And I don't know. It's going to be a little weird. Hopefully it doesn't look too horrible. But, you know, it is what it is. And who knows? Maybe I'll scrap this one for the actual 12 Stories book. In the end, you know, who knows? I mean, I like the story. And I think it's pretty much, the storytelling came out well. There's one page that could have been probably stretched out to at least 2 pages. And of course I could go back and redo stuff, but I don't want to do that. I want to move forward. I don't want to just like, you know, I'll learn from the mistakes of this one, move forward and do better in the next one. That's how I'm doing it. I can't like keep going back and fixing things and making things perfect and stuff. No, that's not how I work. That would just frustrate me and probably make me procrastinate and never get anything done. It's just the way I work. I don't know. I can't do it. I can, but I don't want to. I feel like that's like a level of hell I don't want to visit. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, you know, lazy or something. Anyways. So yeah, that's what I did today. So this is the end of the road for the first week, you know, the end of the first week. I mean, who knows, maybe I'll do a little more tonight, but if I do, I'll talk about it in the next episode. But pretty good stuff. Here, I'm going to stop this real quick. You guys won't even know the difference, except for now that I told you. But I'm going to tally up the hours for the first week. Alright, so I got about 9 hours of comic work and I think it said 2.5 hours-ish of warm-up sketches. Now I'm supposed to do 5 minutes of warm-up sketches a day. So this is from Monday to Saturday. Sunday, you know, was not yet the new year, so it didn't count, even though I did do work. So in some ways, this week is going to be way more than I normally can probably get in. I'm sure some weeks I'll only be able to get in mostly the half an hour each day. But this week, I had time off. I had extra time at different points that I don't normally have. I just worked during work for about 3.5 hours. That's not how it usually works. So we'll see. But this isn't going to be the average. This is like a good week. But I'm missing a day, so there's that. And plus, actually, I'm missing about a day, but I'm supposed to miss a day anyways. So that kind of works out. So that part doesn't count. But some days, even on my Sundays where I take off, I might still work, like I said. But anyways, so say I work 7 days a week, 5 minutes of sketching, so that's what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I should know my 5 tables, right? But I don't because I forget. So 35 minutes is what I should tally up, and I got about 2.5 hours, instead, because I never am gonna. I'm almost rarely, if ever, probably gonna only get 5 minutes of sketching in. I mean, I don't know. There might be days where I'm super tired, so we'll see. But that's pretty good, I would say. I did some extra sketching, and I've been practicing environments and stuff. I'll try to take some pictures so I can, post them throughout this video of all the different progress things I did. And then, so about 9 hours and 17 minutes of actual comic work. So let's see, half an hour for 7 days. That's 1, 2, 3.5 hours is what, I have to at least do at least that much a week. And I did 9 hours and 17 minutes. So that's almost triple. Well, no, let's see, 3.5. So it's not quite triple, but it's definitely a lot more than double. So I'm pretty happy with that. I can't lie. Got a lot of progress done. Did some writing, did some thumbnailing, I did a lot of different stuff this week. I didn't just draw comics, I didn't just write, I did a lot of different things. I did pretty much a little bit of everything, which isn't going to be normal. Sometimes I'll just be penciling, or sometimes I'll just be inking, the inking process goes somewhat fast. The prep stuff is different. Now that I'm like grayscaling this comic, it might take longer than I expected. I'm still trying to decide like how far. Who knows? Maybe I'll be like, okay, this is taking too long, and I'm just going to keep it like pure black and white, the way the pages look, with a little bit of cleanup is it, and then some lettering. That's what I kind of thought I was doing, but the first page needed some stuff to really set the mood. Like the mood doesn't look right if I don't put a little gray in the background, and then once I do that, then everything else looks off balance. So I'm like, I gotta grayscale the whole page. If I grayscale the whole page of one page, then I gotta grayscale the whole page of all the pages, or else it's gonna look stupid. So it's like, I'm not that frustrated because it's looking cool, but it's gonna set me back a little bit of time, and I wanted to get it done quicker so I can have it out to you guys to read, because I'm gonna put it out for free so you guys can read it. Also, just other updates. I'm really excited about the anthologies coming out this week. Once you see this video, it'll be like a day or two that we're gonna launch, or 3 days maybe until we launch. It's gonna launch on the 10th of January. We have it all set and ready. It's approved. Everything's set up. Where I've been. If you want to follow us on Instagram. Check. There's a lot of different ways you can follow us on Facebook and all that stuff, but I'm the one who's in control of the Instagram, so I'm gonna be doing some stuff there. So yeah, follow the Instagram, follow all the peoples on YouTube's. If you're watching this, you know what's up, or you're gonna know what's up real quick, real soon. So Instagram is 100's Anthology. I don't know. I'll try to remember to put a link. I don't know how I remember this, but from the beginning of the video, the beginning of the week, I have to make sure I link Mike Emirates, and I have to make sure I link Eric Faries. I said Faries. I think he pronounces it Faries. Sorry about that. And yeah, I don't know. I'm doing a lot of babbling. I do want to wrap this up. About to drive home and be done with the work week. I'll probably do some work tomorrow on the comic. Who knows? I've got this habit so far, and I'm just excited to keep working on it. Who knows? But I also have to edit this video. I also want to start getting some videos edited for the anthology so we can keep promoting that. And so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll just do that tomorrow. We'll see. But I don't know. That's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this update. Let me know what else you'd like to see. This isn't going to be the only kind of videos on my channel, but this is what's on it right now. And hopefully we'll be getting one out every week. If not, it is what it is, but I'll keep updating you guys throughout the year. So we will see. 365 days of comics, creating my rocket ship. We're gonna blow through this year and do some awesome stuff. So hopefully you guys dug it. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you did like it. And I will talk to you on the next update. Peace out.